I came home that day. I just lie down in my bed to cry with my dog, and I said like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I'm dying. Literally, I was full of cancer. I had a 5 centimeters tumor here. All this was full of tumors. My name is Queen Demetria. I'm 46 years old. I am a mixture of a lot of nationalities, so Russian, Colombian, Spanish, and I live in Austria. Yeah. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 31 years old. That means I'm 13 now, 14 years around in fighting with cancer. And since 2.5 years, I'm fighting metastatic breast cancer, which is at stage 4 breast cancer, terminal cancer. I was pregnant when I was 15 years old. I got my child. Now he's 31, and I was a very young mother. So when you are young and you are going through puberty, and then you are going through all your changes, and then you get a child, and then it becomes mentally and physically very stressful for your mind and for your body too. And after my pregnancy, everything was like not in the plate. It has to be your child. And when I could not have a plastic surgery for my breast, so I could have a child, but ironically, I could not get a plastic surgery for my breast. And I was completely destroyed after the pregnancy. So when I got 18 years old, I started to get some fibrosis in my breast, and it's like a little thing. And I will go to the doctor, and he will say something like, this is because of the breast milk duct, blah blah blah, and will this is nothing, this is nothing. But at some point, it got a little painful, so I wanted to remove them. But aesthetic part of this surgery would bring me to having my breast kind of deform. And you are 18. I mean, I was 18 at that point. My son was already 3 years old. You don't want to have this, so I decided to do a plastic surgery. I decided to get breast augmentation, so breast implant, because I thought, okay, at least I will get them feel again and good, and I won't see these holes there inside. And everything was good. I didn't find anything. uh, I never thought about cancer, actually. It's like, uh, never, like, you never think about cancer. Like, you never think this is gonna happen to you. You never think anything like that. When you are in that age, you are just like, so free, and so like, I do whatever I want. And anyway, um by 2010, I had a fibrosis in the whole breast, so my implants became very very hard. But I was already relocated in Europe. I was already like, here in Austria. I've been living in Austria for the past 22 years. So it's like, I don't want to do a surgery here. I was thinking like, I will go back. I did it in Colombia. I have family there is Colombian, and I grew up part of my life there. So I said, I'm just gonna go back to Colombia, and I'm just gonna remove the implants or replace them. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but it was nothing painful. And in 2011, it was a very beautiful summer. I went shopping that day, and I was always on the phone, always on the phone, always with the package, always busy, always living life. And suddenly, my blouse, so it went like this, and I was like showing a little bit too much. And I just did this, and I noticed here, exactly here, where you see the tattoo. This a whole tattoo after 16 surgeries. So I just covered everything. And I saw a bump. It was a really big ball, and it was painful. 2 weeks before that day, I was with a doctor here, like in a women's center. It's like an integral medicine for women and blah blah blah. And then I just texted him and I say, listen, I have a ball and I'm really scared. Can I go tomorrow? No, it's Saturday, but you can come on Monday at 7 o'clock. There was a woman, she was a new plastic surgeon, and she told me, yeah, you have this fibrosis. This is because of that. You are too young to have cancer. And I said like, no, I'm not, because my mother had breast cancer. My aunt had breast cancer, and my family comes from history of cancer. So I'm afraid to have cancer. She told me, listen, you have to pay me 10,000 euros, and then I will remove your implants and I will remove the capsule, and you have the pictures. And she removed all the tissue and everything. She butchered my breast completely. And I came home with a butchered breast. It was really like a person who cooks meat, like for the first time making experiments, did that. Even the nurses, when she removed the nurses were like a, like a, why I'm like this? It's like I already had a plastic surgery. I knew how a plastic surgery. I knew like what is the process to get a plastic surgery, how your breast is. And 1 week after, when I healed very fast, thanks God. I was not, I had no inflammation or anything. And then I put my hand over and there was still the ball there. So that experience got me completely paranoid. I didn't want to go to a doctor. And I said, no, I'm going to focus on work. November 2020, 2012. I got my surgery. I went through surgery. I took the chance to do a little other things that I wanted to do. And I was really happy, very excited. Best time of my life, best job. I wanted to let behind that year of stress and everything. And I went to the surgery with really 100% security that I had no cancer. But the doctor, because of the law in Colombia, everything what it gets out of your body needs to be tested. And since I had a 5 centimeters tumor here, and the 9 o'clock, it was, you could see it when I did this. You could see the ball there, and it was painful, and it was blue. And I started to paint a heart over it all the time when I would get something like a little bit of clip blush or something. I was just like paint a heart. I'm like, yeah, I will get it out. I will get it out. I will get it out. And the day I went to remove the stitches, my doctor was completely white. Then we sat, and he told me, "I'm really sorry. You were right. It was cancer." Everything just stopped. It's like I knew it was cancer. I get very emotional because I was so angry. Then I sat there, and he told me, I'm really sorry that the doctors let you down this way. You were totally right. Stage 2 cancer. It's a very aggressive tumor. The first line of treatment that I was offered was a mastectomy. We talk about an inner mastectomy, so I did it. So I got that surgery in November 2012, and in 2013, my birthday is on the 3rd of January. By 9th of January, one day before my son's birthday, he's on the 10th, I got my fourth surgery, a double mastectomy. This double mastectomy was aimed to remove all the remain tissue. I say, I want everything out. I want everything out. And he did this, and then he did immediately a reconstruction, which I didn't want a plastic surgeon because of the bad experience here. So I say to him, I don't want any plastic surgeon in the operation room. I want you to remove this implant, to remove my breast, and if you want to put them back, and you can put them back immediately, I want you to do it. So after this mastectomy, I had to go back 2 weeks later for another surgery. They opened me again because they didn't clean the margin good. So you count the surgeries, and I had to come back again. Then I had to come back again. And every time I will leave the hospital, I will get a new tumor. It's like the tumor was walking, and it wasn't walking. The tumor was just being transferred the cells from one side to another. As much as they operated on me, the tissue was more damaged. I could not. You can heal, but it was too much surgery already. So by 2014, I had to get one of the major surgeries that I have. It's called latissimus dorsi, and it's a surgery that it removes your muscle from here, because Now the muscle was full of cancer, but it was always full of cancer, but the doctor never tested it for that. So he was operated on me while it was growing. Ironically, my cancer didn't spread before the surgery that I have here in 2011 because the silicone implants were a barrier between the tumor and the body. So you mean it was here, my muscle? The implant was here, the one that I got when I was 18. And here is the breast tissue where the tumor was, and here is the skin. When this doctor performed this butcher surgery on me, she transferred the implant under the muscle. So she put together the muscle and the infected tissue with cancer. And this is when the cancer spread into my body. So the silicone saved me for many years of, and if it's not because of this of the silicone, the tumor doesn't pop, it goes down. So I wouldn't find it when until it was bigger. So if something, that silicone saved me for many years from getting the cancer more spread into the thorax and everything. So after so many surgeries, I decided I didn't want anymore. After 2 years, um, in the pandemic, I decided not to go to the doctor because I was afraid of COVID. Because so in 2020 I stopped, and in 2021 at the beginning I did all my tests again. Okay, now it's time to control everything, and then I found all the metastases here. It was like a little spots, very little spots in the supraclavicular, infraclavicular, nuchal, is this area, in cervical area. And I went to the oncologist. Everything showed that I probably had a metastasis that was a little bit more serious, that these little 6 millimeters, that they were always there. So I was never cancer free. They were always there. The hormonal therapy helped me to contain the cancer, but it never destroyed. So it didn't really work, because normally you could get that out of your body with this treatment. And I went to him. He sent me a PET scan, positron emission tomography, that gets everything what you need. And I never got the results or a call or anything. And he has this policy with me, like, if I don't call you, everything is okay. You're still in the same treatment. So he never called. It was a 5 centimeters tumor here, and it was like the same like the beginning, like the first one. I went to bed on a Monday. Tuesday I wake up and I go, what is this? So I went to the doctor. I said, like, look what COVID did to me. Look. And he told me, this is not COVID, this is cancer. My general doctor, you need to go to oncology immediately. So I went that day in the evening to the same oncologist. And he told me, hi, how are you? Sick. Last year was nothing, when he never called me. And I said, really? Yeah, nothing. Sits in the computer, opens my file and say, you have this since last year. Why you never came back? And I was like, what? Did you maybe thought about like, hey, let's call this woman and tell her you're dying? Like, hey, de me, or I don't know, whatever, witch or whatever, say something. Or woman, come back here because you're dying. I asked to be put in menopause. I asked to be removed my, like, do, how do you say, a hysterectomy? Exactly. I ask everything, remove everything. I don't want breast. I don't want nothing. I want to live. And I don't want to live in a hospital. Like, there, we are in a moment in life that there is a solution. Cancer is not a death sentence. There are a lot of things. You need just to react on time, and you are gonna be living. Well, you can live with this. I'm walking proof of you can live with cancer, but this is a full-time job. Full-time job means you need to be aware of everything that you are doing in your life, and the healing needs to be a complete healing. This comes from your mind, from your spirit, from your body, from everything. And this guy basically blamed me for everything. I tried to sue him, could not, uh, nobody listened to me. I give up that idea, and I started an immune therapy that got me 2 years basically disabled. I was having three, four, five panic attacks. This was from 2020, beginning of 2023, on the 31st of January. I came back to him for the fourth time in the same month, and he told me, "I'm sorry to tell you, but you have metastatic breast cancer. It's terminal. Go and live your life. Take this medication. We don't know how long it's gonna work." I thought very dark things. I was very, very, I was in a very bad place. I think it was one of the worst days in my life, more than the first time that I knew that I had cancer, because you go through all this ordeal for all these years, and you are so much trying to become a better version of yourself, and you overcome alcohol addiction and smoking addiction, and you do this by yourself, like with the grace of God. You are not going to a center. You imagine the denial. So you go through all this process alone, and you see back, and you feel so proud of what you have accomplished. And comes this doctor and crush all your dreams and tell you you're dying because it's your fault. But you know that it's not like that. I came home that day. I just lie down in my bed to cry with my dog, and I said like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I'm dying. Literally, I was full of cancer. I had a 5 centimeters tumor here. All this was full of tumors. There were tumors growing inside of my plexus area. I had tumors here. I have tumors in the base of the thyroid gland here, not in, but here. And all this part of the spine was completely full. So this is the worst. So the chances that I would have brain cancer were huge. So you can imagine they call it anxiety. I was not sleeping. I was not eating. I was not living because I developed a really hard anxiety, because I was afraid that I had something in my brain. And I told to him, "What happened when it happened in my brain?" "No, if you have it in your brain, you will be dead in 6 months." And he will keep uh, telling me these horrible things. I told her, my new oncologist, I need to go there. I want radiation. "No, but we don't do that. I don't care. It's my body. I want you to give me radiation. I want radiation. I want this out of my neck. I want to be able to go to the gym, to wake up. I don't want this in my body. I don't care what it costs me. If I have to cut my hand, then I will get a prosthesis or something, and I will be the bionical person. I will go through everything, but I don't want this pain anymore." So last September, I started radiation. I did 15 rounds of radiation every day for 3 weeks, very hard radiation. And on the 30th of December, when I was feeling really bad, I came from the States really sick. I got COVID, influenza at the same time. It was horrible. After I went to Disney World, and I got the scans, and not just these tumors were gone, but also this one. So that day I took a decision: no chemotherapy, no immune therapy. I'm in induced menopause, and I'm gonna keep it like that. And I'm taking, now that I'm in menopause, because it's induced, I take some kind of anti-hormonal therapy. I'm not gonna do anything anymore. No more, no more, no more surgeries. No more surgeries, no more chemotherapy, no more immunotherapy, no more anything. But I think it's God. I mean, if something has been very important for me, is the relationship that I started to have with God the day I asked for help. For me to ask for help, I'm Latina, so it's very difficult to accept that I need help in anything. And I think when I told God that, that's 15th of October 2022, I cannot do this anymore alone. You need to get me out of this, because he knew everything. I mean, everything works. You have no idea when somebody tells you something like a cliche or cheesy. You need to connect the dots backwards, and you see yourself now, and you see like it is true. It happened for a reason. So that's my treatment. My treatment now is living and being happy. You have to have faith. You have to go bed, and you need to know that what you did today, it it made a difference. To just the fact that you are walking, and then that you are ending another day, is a promise that it comes another one. And just live one day at a time. I mean, just give the big stuff to God, but never forget that things come from discipline. It's like, I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in God, but I also do my work. My work is not like, I will let this to God, but let's smoke a cigarette and let no. I leave this to God, but I try to every day build a better version of myself, and always reflect on all the mistakes that I did before. So the day after, for example, tomorrow, today will be the reflection of today, and then I take the best, leave the bad behind. Take the best. You build yourself like a little nest of security, but it's all based on faith. Is the only thing that will keep you going.